Neon tide on the west side grid. Chrome teeth city with 1,000 bids. Blueprint focused like a tungsten blade. I signed my vow where the streets remade. G-Funk fog over canyon lanes. 808 thunder tattooing names. Menacing sins with a predator glide. When the kick hits hard, every doubt steps aside. Hardcore west coast to the ruthless quake. 808 punches make the sidewalk shake. Dark cinematic basslines stalk the night. Send knives carving through the velvet light. I don't fold when the skyline bends. Pressure makes polish, the polish makes sense. From curb to crown with a carpenter's hand. Iron in my lungs, diamond in my plan. I counted rain in a drought of hope. Measured decline by a freight street rope. Turned lock gates into rails and screws. Built new doors with my scar-stitched truths. Low rider gospel and candy paint hymns. Oil rain halos where the neon swims. Mentors were meters that tax my grit. I paid in sweat till the debt went split. I map my fear like a coastline reef. Mark each snag with a captain's brief. Swell gets tall, I lower my stance. Breath on tempo in a bulletproof dance. I don't rent crowns from applause on lease. I meant mine slow with a welded piece. If fate stacks decks with his thumb on deals, I cut that pack with a cold work steel. Snare writes chalk where the street keeps score. Kick draws lines from the stoop to the shore. If doubt sells fog in a counterfeit crown, heat test metal, watch the fake melt down. West coast feel the ruthless quake. 808 punches make the sidewalk shake. Dark cinematic baseline stalk the night. Send knives carving through the velvet light. I don't fold when the skyline bends. Pressure makes polish, the polish makes sense. From curb to crown with a carpenter's hand. Iron in my lungs, diamond in my plan. Clock swung cheap, so I broke his hands. Bent every minute till the hours would stand. Ledger of trials in the carbon black ink. Spilled a few pints but refused to sink. Family flame like a lighthouse stare. Cuts through fog when the world ain't fair. If the sirens sing, I don't lose pace. I tune my post to the kicks embrace. Circle stays tight like a pressure set ring. Only the loyal hear that ping. Trust is a vault with a triple coat spine. Miss one digit and you're out the line. Quiet ambition is a steel axe safe. I don't give rent to a tenant named hate. I farm my calm like a hillside vine. Patience and grind in the gold thread twine. Let the sand draw bangs on tinted glass. Let the kick write laws pretenders can't pass. If the night wants dues, I didn't agree. I bill it interest and late night fees. I'm the beat that survived 1,000 skips. Needle kept jumping, I strengthened my grip. Now the wax rolls smooth on a westbound arc. Lavender dusk on a gold thread spark. From thrift or coach to tailored intent. From wait your turn till we sign the rent. Paper was scarce but the wheel ran deep. We bought our future with labor and sleep. I chart my piece like a pilot's map. Crosswinds mark where the doubts clap back. Throttle by breath, altitude by nerve. Storms make sailors, not docks that swerve. No thunder sold, I can't command. No worth leased to a borrowed brand. My name's a warranty forged in heat. Lifetime coverage on every hardcore west coast for the ruthless quake. 808 punches make the sidewalk shake. Dark cinematic baseline stalk the night. Send knives carving through the velvet light. I don't fold when the skyline bends. Pressure makes polish, the polish makes sense. From curb to crown with a carpenter's hand. Iron in my lungs, diamond in my plan. Kids at the window of a dawn soft room. Watch me braid hope on a torque tight loom. Legacy ink on a calendar spine. Every box honest, every deadline fine. Friends turn fog when the grade got steep. Kept a few oaks with their roots cut deep. We raise steel beams in a quiet parade. Let trends keep score, we lift the grade. Rear view ghosts try to hook my name. I change that lane with a surgeon's aim. No mirror rage, no exhaust fed fuel. Just cruise control, purpose and gratitude. When the red sun pours in the ocean glass, I count my miles by the courage of mass. No shortcut grounds, just nailing roof. No gilded lies, only pressure proof. If tomorrow asks what I bring to fight, I say backbone, breath and light. Hardcore heart with a time lock brand. West Coast post, iron in the hand. Iron in the hand. Iron in the hand. Alright, this is the beat on. Alright. Yeah. Neon fog, slow dances on the coastline spine. Chrome veins hum where the night draws lines. Blueprint focus with a tungsten calm. I stamp my vibe with a bassline song. G-funk embers in the cul-de-sac glow. Ruthless 808s, let the black top know. Menaces stares like a hawk in the dive. When the kick hits twice, whole blocks come alive. Hardcore West Coast where the pavement folds. Ruthless 808 punches, heavy and cold. Dark cinematic bassline stalk the night. Send knives carving through velvet light. I don't bend when the skyline sways. Pressure makes polish, I bank those days. From curb to crown with a carpenter's hand. Iron in my lungs, diamond in my plan. I learned math in the drought, count grit, cut loss. Turn nails to win voices, send fate the cost. Every locked door became lumber and screws. I frame new routes with that paid dues. Low rider doctrine, cruise with poise. Let patience talk louder than noise. Mapped every fear like reefs on a chart. Sail that straight with a temperate heart. Sirens keep time like a metronome choir. Oil rain halos where sparks kiss fire. Quiet ambition in the pressure lock safe. Doubt knocks soft, I don't leave space. If fate rigs decks with a thumb on deals, I split that pack with a co-work steel. Respect is rent, you pay on time. Receipts are action, backbone spine. Snare draws chalk on the boulevard skin. Kick rights laws I carry within. If the dark levies tax on breath I own, I bill it interest for every stone. Hardcore West Coast where the pavement folds. Ruthless 808 punches, heavy and cold. Dark cinematic bassline stalk the night. Send knives carving through velvet light. I don't bend when the skyline sways. Pressure makes polish, I bank those days. From curb to crown with a carpenter's hand. Iron in my lungs, diamond in my plan. Clock swung cheap so I broke his hand. Bent each minute till the hours would stand. Ledger run trials with receipts and ink. Spilled a few pints but refused to sink. Family flame like a lighthouse bright. Cuts through fog on a salt-cut night. If waves climb high, I lower my stance. Breathe through fear, then exit the trance. Mentors with meters and corner lot lamps. Blueprints sketched in midnight camps. We barter wisdom for stubborn resolve. Soft cold patterns till problems dissolve. Circle stays tight like a pressure set ring. Only the loyal can hear that ping. Trust is a vault with a triple coat spine. Miss one digit, you're out the line. I tune my grind like a race built can. Compound gains, bam after bam. Let the scent paint fangs on tinted panes. Let the kick write laws that outlast fame. If night sells fear at a borrowed rate, I repossess crowns I sweat to create. I'm the beat that survived 1,000 skips. Needle kept jumping, I tighten my grips. Now wax rolls smooth on a westbound arc. Lavender dusk over gold thread spark. From thrift store jackets to tailored intent. From wait your turn till we sign the rent. Paper was thin but the will ran deep. We bought our future with labor and sleep. I chart my piece like a pilot's route. Mark crosswinds where the doubt shout. Throttle by breath, altitude by nerve. Storms make sailors, not docks that swerve. No thunder sold, I can't command. No worth leased to a borrowed brand. My name's a warranty forged in heat. Lifetime coverage on every beat. Hardcore West Coast where the pavement folds. Ruthless 808 punches, heavy and cold. Dark cinematic bassline stalk the night. Send knives carving through velvet light. I don't bend when the skyline sways. Pressure makes polish, I bank those days. From curb to crown with a carpenter's hand. Iron in my lungs, diamond in my plan. Kids at the window of a dawn soft room. Watch me braid hope on a torque tight loom. Legacy ink on a calendar spine. Boxes check honest, deadlines fine. Friends turn fog when the gray got steep. Kept a few oaks with the roots cut deep. We live steel beams in a quiet parade. Let trends keep score, we raise the grade. Rear view ghosts try to hook my name. I changed that lane with a surgeon's aim. No mirror rage, no exhaust fed fuel. Just cruise control, courage and gratitude. Ghost script, sunset, rights, credits and chrome. Marquee re simple, earned in home. Throne is infused, it's the hours I bled. Callous palms with a cool clear head. When the red sun pours in the ocean glass, I count my miles by the courage of mass. No shortcut crowns, just nail and roof. No gilded lies, only pressure proof. If tomorrow asks what I bring to fight, I say backbone, breath and light. Hardcore heart with a time lock brand. West Coast pulse, iron in the hand. Iron in the hand. Iron in the hand. Neon rain on a canyon of chrome. West side breath like a metronome. Blueprint focus with tungsten eyes. I sign my oath with a freeway size. G-Funk smoke crawls under the lights. Ruthless 808s wake sleeping nights. Menacing ditch draw wolves in the fog. When the kick hits twice, the boulevard nods. Hardcore West Coast make the pavement bow. Ruthless 808 punches drilling through now. Dark cinematic baseline stalk and bite. Send blades carving up the velvet night. I don't bend when the skyline sways. Pressure makes polish, I bank those days. From curb to crown with a carpenter's hand. Iron in my chest, diamond in my plan. I learned calculus counting my scars. Turned empty pockets to solar stars. Every shutdown turned lumber and screws. I built the door out of paid up dues. Low ride of scripture, glide and breathe. Let patience talk while the doubters see. Map my fear like reefs on a chart. Sailed that straight with a tempered heart. Sirens mark time like a snare on two. Oil rain halos on midnight blue. Quiet ambition in a pressure-proof vault. I season my grip with a pinch of salt. Cloud is a leash that I never wear. Respect is rent, pay steady and fair. If fate stacks decks with his thumb on deals, I split that pack with cold work steel. Every misstep taught balance and poise. Turn static kiss into signaling noise. Now cadence is clean as a chrome been lit. No shaky hands when I tighten the grip. Hear the snare chalk names in the street. Feel the kick draft laws in the heat. If the dog tax breath I already own, I bill it interest for every stone. Hardcore West Coast make the pavement bow. Ruthless 808 punches drilling through now. Dark cinematic baseline stalk and bite. Scent blades carving up the velvet night. I don't bend when the skyline sways. Pressure makes polish, I bank those days. From curb to crown with a carpenter's hand. Iron in my chest, diamond in my plan. Clock swung cheap so I broke its hand. Bent every minute till the hours would stand. Ledger of trials in carbon black ink. Spilled a few pints but refused to sink. Family flame like a lighthouse bright. Cuts through fog on a saw-cut night. If waves climb high, I lower my stance. Breathe through the pitch in a bulletproof dance. Mentors with meters and corner lot lamps. Blueprints drafted in midnight camps. We barter wisdom for stubborn resolve. Soft cold patterns till problems dissolve. Circle stays tight like a pressure set ring. Only the loyal can hear that ping. Trust is a vault with a triple code spine. Miss one digit, you're out the line. I trim my crew like a captain's list. Keep oars in rhythm, no wasted wrist. The ship runs silent when storms get loud. We cut through thunder, we don't chase cloud. Let the scent draw fangs on a 10-hit pain. Let the kick write laws that outwalk fame. If the night wants dues, I never agreed. I repossess crowns my hours have seeded. I'm the beat that survived 1,000 skips. Needle kept jumping, I tighten my grip. Now the wax been smooth on a westbound dark. Lavender dusk over gold thread spark. From thrift store coats to tailored intent. From wait your turn till we sign the rent. Paper was thin but the will ran deep. We bought tomorrow with labor and sleep. Map my piece like an aviator's route. Plot crosswinds where the doubt shout out. Throttle by breath, altitude calm. Storms make sailors, not docks or bomb. I won't sell thunder I can't control. Won't lease my worth to a borrowed road. My name is a warranty forged in heat. Lifetime coverage on every beat. And if hillside glass for peace my claim, that's just the city spelling my name. Planting my grit in stubborn soil. Now harvest gleans from disappointed toil. West Coast make the pavement bow. Ruthless 808 punches drilling through now. Dark cinematic baseline stalk and bite. Scent blades carving up the velvet night. I don't bend when the skyline sways. Pressure makes polish, I bank those days. From curb to crown with a carpenter's hand. Iron in my chest, diamond in my plan. Kids at the window of a dawn soft room. Watch me braid hope on a torque tight loom. Legacy ink on a calendar spine. Boxes checked honest, deadlines fine. Friends turn fog when the gray got steep. Kept a few wokes with their roots cut deep. We raise steel beams in a quiet parade. Let trends keep score, we lift the grade. Rear view ghosts try to hook my drive. I changed that lane with a surgeon's eye. No rage, no exhaust fed fuel. Just cruise control, courage and gratitude. Gold script, sunset prints, credits. Neon fades to a silver bruise. Moon writes checks that the tide can use. When the baseline sleeps and the city exhales, I count the miles by the grit that prevails. No shortcut crowns, just nail and roof. No gilded lies, only tested proof. I leave my mark like a tire-worn band. Ruthless, relentless, diamond in my plan. Diamond in my plan. Diamond in my plan. Street lights blink like tired guys on pole. Storm drains, gossip in metallic rows. Crosswalk ribs ticking under shoes. Midnight breath frights, foggy news. Payphone cradle like a halo dent. Sticker history, cement on cement. Every curb a paragraph, every brick a side. We learn to read the city with a side eye. The streets don't sleep, they simmer and hum. Teach you a language the classroom shun. We stitch our hope where the footprints run. Turn grit to gold in the barrel of the sun. If the nights got teeth and the morning's late, we double knot dreams and negotiate. Yeah, the streets throw dice we can't control, but we count our losses and keep our soul. Graffiti constellations, orbit brick. Every tag a timestamp, drip by tick. Bodega bells sing quarter tone hymns. Cats guard counters with cathedral winds. Mailbox moons with flyers tape. Talent show arrows from dreams escape. Bench press burdens in a park bench set. OGs coaching rookies through the deck. A cracked lens camera on the Daily Show. Call that handshake deal with your former self. You promised the block you'll be back at dawn to pick up the coverage you left half drawn. Pothole mirror show upside down skies. Rain tambourines on the taxi's eyes. We shuffle our chances like cars gon' solve to build a new fate from the scaffold law. Kids trade shortcuts like family heirlooms. Map new routes through construction fumes. If time runs thin, we stretch the minutes. Paper plane, hope a phone number in. Streets don't sleep, they simmer and hum. Teach you a language that classrooms shun. We stitch our hope where the footprints run. Turn grit to gold in the barrel of the sun. If the nights got teeth and the morning's late, we double knot dreams and negotiate. Yeah, the streets throw dice we can't control, but we count our losses and keep our soul. Hoodie weather, LED hum. 2-job heartbeat on a budget drum. Receipts in pockets like paper songs. Rent day arithmetic on borrowed palms. Moms turn coupons into simmering grapes. Dads glue soles for the sneaker race. Grandma cures colds with lemon and clove. Neighbors keep watch like a hand in glove. Block captain text, roll call please. Check on Miss May, she needs those keys. Mutual aid from a hatchback trunk. Rice and dignity stacked in some. Transit is scripture in tracks and signs. We memorize transfers like sacred lines. If the last train goes and the cab's a joke, we walk in chorus through fear and smoke. Closed gate rattles on a bakery grin. Flower wakes early, the pigeon spin. Coffee fog curls like a blessing warm. We button our courage against the storm. Past keeps calling from a payphone tone. We let it rain, we're grown, we're grown. Laundromat cipher by the dry road. Spin cycle bars with a nickel flow. Skater sign cursive on a handrail spine. Mist and land on the 10th design. Bike Messiah in the deflector's flash. Blesses the block with a pedal flash. Nurse on a scooter with a shift long hem. Pulse like a drum in the city's limb. Pop-up markets under scaffold ribs. Van doors translate hunger into ad-libs. Edge control thrones and braided crowns. Confident stitch while the sun goes down. We fell out loud, then iterate clean. Borrow a ladder, sand the scene. Scrapping the structure, dust into art. A blueprint beaten in the weatherproof heart. The streets don't sleep, they simmer and hum. Teach you a language that classrooms shun. We stitch our hope where the footprints run. Turn grit to gold in the barrel of the sun. If the nights got teeth and the morning's late, we double knot dreams and negotiate. Yeah, the streets throw dice we can't control, but we count our losses and keep our soul. Yeah. Summer hydrant crowns a block with rain. Kids wear halos in a stainless chain. When the sun's name is on the bus stop glass, palms leave hearts that refuse to pass. Blackout candles in repurposed jars. Stories float up like basement stars. Group chat siren, you home, I'm good. Pin drop maps of a living wood. Every alley's written in future tense. Every setback scaffold sense. We measure wealth by the hands we hold. Street math, profit, and human goal. If City Hall forgets our beat, we loop the rhythm from street to street. From stoop to skyline, count it off. 1 for the grit, 2 for the call, 3 for the dream that won't clock out, 4 for the voices that drown the doubt. Shutters yawn like steel-tongued whales. Forklifts drum on the loading rails. Breakfast smoke, rice cursive rise. Sun tips hats to the working eyes. Tie your laces, square your soul. Step to the metronome under control. If tomorrow asks who sets the beat, say, we do here on these streets. Whoa. do here on these streets. Cameras flash on the marble stage, another promise in a golden cage. Flags wave high, but the pockets deep. They sell the truth while the dreamers weep. Behind the glass, the suits all grin, counting votes like a game they rigged to win. The city bleeds while they toasting white. Justice sleeps through another night. Politics polished, people forgotten. Words sound holy, the roots still rotten. They sell our pain for a headline spin. We pay the price for the power of sin. Raise that fist, don't bow, don't blend. Change ain't gifted, it's time to bend. If the gates lock tight with a diamond key, we'll break that door and rewrite the decree.
Capitol's a casino, lobby chips on deck. They gamble lives with a polished check. Bills written soft in the donor's hand, while children starve in the broken land. They tweet equality from penthouse rooms, then gut the schools with budget brooms. Campaign love, but it dies next week. Policy born from the rich elite. Filibuster lullabies, talk till dawn, while the lights go out on the working pawn. Tax breaks drip like gold for kings. We get crumbs with invisible strings. No saviors coming in a tailored tie, no clean slate falling from the sky. The system eats what it helped decay, but we the people gon' make it pay. Politics polished, people forgotten. Words sound holy, the roots still rotten. They sell our pain for a headline spin. We pay the price for the power of sin. Raise that fist, don't bow, don't blend. Change ain't gifted, it's time to bend. If the gates lock tight with a diamond key, we'll break that door and rewrite the decree. Boardroom gospel, corporate choir. Stock tickers sing while the poor retire. Newsroom scripts, sold ad by ad. Truth gets buried, spin looks glad. They build a prison when they fear your vote, then call it law with a leather coat. They hush the masses with cheap parole, but hope's a fire they can't control. We march in weather they'll never feel. We turn our pain into tempered steel. They privatize life, monetize breath, profit off prisons and patient death. They drain the soil, call it progress clean. We choke on smoke from the American dream. We don't wait for a hand to feed. We sow the law, we plant the seed. Grassroots gospel, justice raw. No more begging to bend their law. From block to ballot, from page to pen, the streets write louder than power again. Red and blue both drink the same wine, shake the same hands, read the same line. Divide the people, conquer the crowd, silence the poor if they get too loud. But whispers grow, they link, they shout. The ground itself starts pushing out. No algorithm can't hide that spark. No gate can hold what bleeds in dark. We want schools, not stock exchange pride. Health, not headlines, truth, not sides. Policy ain't speeches, blood and will. And we write ours with an iron quill. Politics polished, people forgotten. Words sound holy, the roots still rotten. They sell our pain for a headline spin. We pay the price for the power of sin. Raise that fist, don't bow, don't blend. Change ain't gifted, it's time to bend. If the gates lock tight with a diamond key, we'll break that door and rewrite the decree. So let the Capitol quake when the streets awake. With a post they can't make. No crown, no king, no chosen few. The law is ours, it's overdue. Tomorrow's ink is in our hands. Not red, not blue, just people who stand. If they forget who this power's for, we'll take it back and close their door.
Street lights buzz like overdue rent. Mail slots cough up final intent. Grandma hums hymns in a shotgun hall. Bless the chip paint, bless us all. Bus stop gospel under winter breath. Shoebox bank labeled after the death. History heavy as a cast iron pan. We season our hope like only we can. When the load gets loud, we carry and sing. Beat grief to a drum, give pain a wing. Black as a baseline, bright as a spark. We stitch tomorrow through seams of the dark. Hands still praying, hands still working. Freedom costs plenty, but faith ain't hurting. Say your name's true, no edits, no gloss. We bloom through concrete and pay that call. Red line maps like fences of ink. Loans say no while taxes link. Landlord's boots on the creaking stair. Roaches survive but the city won't repair. Heat by the oven on a frostbit night. Blankets stacked like a drywall might. We boil tap water for a baby's bath. Do algebra daily on an unfair math. Patrol lights bloom in the rear view jaw. We pass 10-2 like a sacred law. Sir, yes sir, with the window low. Live through the stop, that's the goal we know. News call monsters what hunger made. But we write mercy where shame gets sprayed. Neighborhood angels with EBT. Share 2 carts like we got 50. If dice roll crooked and the table tilt, we bring our tools and rebuild what's built. No begging storms to change their tone. We braid umbrellas from what we own. When the low gets loud, we carry and sing. Beat grief to a drum, give pain a wing. Black as a bassline, bright as a spark. We stitch tomorrow through seams of the dark. Hands still praying, hands still working. Freedom costs plenty, but faith ain't hurting. Say our name's true, no edits, no gloss. We bloom through concrete and pay that cost. Lunch line tickets and busted vents. Textbooks older than the rent due dents. Science with sinks that forgot to run. Still find Saturn in the midnight sun. HBCU dream in a borrowed coat. Pell Grant hope in a rhyming note. Tassel turns on a thrift store cap. Mama's wet eyes, world off map. HR smiles with a coffee grin. Culture fit, we press back in. Resume scrubbed like a hotel floor. Code switch tongue like the office door. Double shifts till Sundays need. Side hustle blues in a cash app breeze. We turn small yes into mortgage keys. Hang first start where the landlord see. Call who holds the roof when the wind gets mean. Response aunties with pots and the countertop lean. Who braids hope when the lights go out? Barbers and braiders and word of mouth. What keeps time when the clock runs late? Drumline faith at the city gate. County clinic with a waiting room prayer. Pulse socks beeping like God be there. Food desert aisles with a sugar cheap cure. Hypertension secrets we shoulder and endure. Court date letters in a stack of dread. Judge reads numbers like daily bread. Bail like a mountain, wage like a sea. We pass the plate till a brother's free. Say Brianna clear, say Trayvon bright. Candle wax rivers in a summer night. March with strollers and mass line care. Feet write statements, the powerful share. Mutual aid in a cardboard bin. Rent day mercy with a spare key grin. We form circles where the sirens spin. Watch each other like the kin of kin. When the low gets loud, we carry and sing. Beat grief to a drum, give pain no wing. Black as a bassline, bright as a spark. We stitch tomorrow through seams of the dark. Hands still praying, hands still working. Freedom costs plenty, but faith ain't hurting. Say your name's true, no edits, no gloss. We bloom through concrete and pay that cost. Granddad's knuckles like kiln baked stone. Built whole rooms from the marrow alone. Grandma's ledger with a casserole mat. Fed 5 families on a narrow path. Black girl ledger with a stardom spine. Edge control slick and a bottom line. Black boy coder with a midnight grind. Ship new worlds through a buggy kind. Nurse on nights with a 30-hour heart. Teacher with tape turning scraps to art. Father on Zoom with a toddler class. Mother on mute making miracles pass. We want more life than surviving scenes. Policy, muscle, and collective means. Budget the love that the data miss. Write it in ink, legislators can't twist. When moon clocks out and the bus is young, we count bright reasons to keep on. Not borrow shine or counterfeit fame. Just breathe backbone and a first name flame. If tomorrow asks what armor you bring, we say quiet fed lungs and a lion wing. Black as a baseline, bright as a crown. American rooted, we won't back down.
Rain dots Morse on the precinct glass. Scanner snow hisses, minute bypass. Badge like a mirror, oath like a hymn. Blue light halos on the night run thin. Grandma's window hums a whisper song. Dispatch codes try mapping calm. Boots kiss puddles, radios buzz. Who keeps covenant, who just does? Yeah, blue light spin and the city holds tight. Piece of pressure in the jaw of night. If law is a promise, write it clear. Protect the people more than the gear. Hands up truth, hands down rage. Guard all rights on every stage. Build that trust, don't cut that thread. Serve the living, honor the dead. Graveyard briefing, coffee that bites, paperwork peaks and sleepless nights. Some wore a badge for a mentor's hand, some for a pension, some for the brand. Body cam blinking like a restless eye. Policy binders, tower sky high. Door crack opens, voices collide. Pick the wrong tone and hope can slide. Powers of voltage, grounded, breathe. Led with the questions you mean to weave. What's your name? Who's hurt? What's near? De-escalation is armor, not fear. If fear's the fuse and pride's the spark, train the hand that holds the dark. Culture still beneath the ink. Change the reflex, change the link. Blue lights spin and the city holds tight. Piece of pressure in the jaw of night. If law is a promise, write it clear. Protect the people more than the gear. Hands up truth, hands down rage. Guard our rights on every stage. Build that trust, don't cut that thread. Serve the living, honor the dead. Walk beats back, no names, no stores. Learn the barber's hours, the schoolyard doors. Coach the league when the summer runs hot. Shake the hand, wear rumors. Mental health calls need care, not cuffs. Medics and counselors, skillful stuff. Publish your numbers, daylight the file. Discipline real, not winking a smile. Whistle for wrong, shield the right. Good cops shine when bad loses sight. Budget with people, audits allowed. Power grows humble in front of a crowd. What's a shield when trust runs thin? Response, truth with receipts and courage within. Where the safety start for real? Respawn, policy bones and the practice field. How do we mend what history tore? Train, reform, and listen more. I've seen an officer kneel to tie a child's loose lace while buses fly. I filmed to stop that vid off script. Heard whole blocks grown when the promise slipped. Accountability isn't hate, it's there. Bread for the oath to be just and fair. Trust is a credit you earn, not own. Paid by restraint when tempers have grown. Community cameras aren't your foe. The lighthouse beams that help us row. Get it right, choruses rise. Get it wrong, sirens baptize. Yeah. Blue lights spin and the city holds tight. Piece of pressure in the jaw of night. If law is a promise, write it clear. Protect the people more than the gear. Hands up truth, hands down rage. Guard our rights on every stage. Build that trust, don't cut that thread. Serve the living, honor the dead. Recruit for character, screen for bias. Stress test judgment where stakes run highest. Role play heat till calm feels true. Measure restraint like heroes do. Rotate beats so blinders fade. Pair crisis teams when calls get made. Union for safety, not for shields that bury facts, the footage yields. Promote the sergeants who cool the blaze. Reward decisions that save more days. Rex in the council, chairs in the ring. Plain language rights the neighbors bring. Participatory budgets, lines and light. Make every dollar account to sight. Teach the kids how power flows. Ask better questions than yes and no's. Officer signs the same small print. Respect is currency stamped in flint. Blue lights spin and the city holds tight. Piece of pressure in the jaw of night. If law is a promise, write it clear. Protect the people more than the gear. Hands up truth, hands down rage. Guard our rights on every stage. Build that trust, don't cut that thread. Serve the living, honor the dead. Don't wipe sirens from the window's face. Street sweep hums through a sleepless case. If justice is blind, let mercy steer. Ask the question that draws us near. What keeps you safe? What makes you whole? Write that answer on badge and soul. When law means love in the public square, that's the uniform every heart can wear. That's the uniform every heart can wear.